This week on the Digital Coffee, both Instagram and YouTube are upgrading their live streaming. What is going on with Twitter verification and music on Instagram images? All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news. My name is Amanda Webb. I am an ROI mentor and consultant. What does that mean? That means that I help businesses just like yours get more return on investment on the time, the energy, and the money that you put into your digital marketing. I'm looking for buttons. In my rehearsal, I pressed all the buttons wrong. Just a warning. If you would like to know more about how you could get that return on investment, I prepared a free 45-minute training session where it will take you step by step through how to measure your return on investment and some ideas on how you can get more return on investment from what you're doing. So if you scan that QR code, you'll get access to that. You'll get an email straight away with all the details of how you access it. So that is me. Just a quick note, we're putting a hold on Twitter Spaces for a little while because you may have noticed Twitter is kind of messy right now. So I'm not doing any Twitter Spaces for the time being. I'm going to see what happens with Twitter, maybe consider LinkedIn audio instead. So for the next few weeks, at least, I'd say until 2023, we will not be doing Spaces. I will miss chatting to you, but we'll come back in some format. Well, it's great to see you here. You can see we've got Howard here. Hello, welcome back. Yes, I wasn't here last week. Because I was away at a training session for Vulture Island, who I do some training for, which was actually amazing, and I learnt loads. So it was actually almost worth missing the show from, but I did miss it. And I missed all of you. So I can see we've got other people watching. So do say hi if you happen to be watching on Facebook. If you happen to be watching on Twitter, yes, I'm still broadcasting live on Twitter. If you happen to be watching on LinkedIn, just let me know where you are and let me know what's in your mug. Because I honestly, this morning, I've just realised I haven't even put my phone on Do Not Disturb. So wait a second. It's been one of those mornings. Can't wait to have my coffee. That's all I'm saying. Right, will we get on with the news? So, will we? Okay then.
You're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Oh, Twitter. Yes, since my last show, Elon Musk has made a purchase. He has purchased Twitter, and it's all gone a bit mad over there. But what I want to talk about today, because I don't want to dwell on it too much, there's nothing we can really do about what's happening. But I do want to talk about one thing, and that is verification. You know, verification used to be really important. It used to be a thing. One, it was a bit of a badge of honor, so we'd all scramble and try and get it, because if you got that, you felt like you were a proper special person, and quite rightly, because it was hard to achieve. And what it did, it would tell people that actually, yes, this is the real person. This is Samantha Kelly, for example, who we just had. Samantha Kelly, this is the real tweeting goddess. It's not somebody who is trying to replicate her. That was the job of Twitter verification. But then, of course, Elon Musk, the company's losing money by the handful. He needs to make money. So he thought, well, you know, what I'll do, in a bizarre conversation with Stephen King, like I'm a Stephen King fan. If I switched my camera this way, you'd see my line of Stephen King books. Decided he was going to charge for verification. He said, would you pay $40 a month? And Stephen King said no. And he said, well, what about $8? And Stephen King's like, you should be paying me to be here, which is another story. I could keep going on forever here. Anyway, he's decided $8, you can buy a verification badge. But what does that do? That dilutes the value of verification. If anyone can buy it, does that mean that those people are really people, or does that just mean they've got $8 a month to spare to buy the verification? I can see if you already had it that you might want to keep it, but now it's not going to be important. So how will we know if these are the real people? Well, they had a solution for 5 minutes. This was the solution: double verification. So when I initially prepared this show, it looked like this was going to be a thing. Underneath your Twitter name, it would say that it was an official account. And when it started rolling out, there were celebrities who had it and celebrities who didn't have it. And there was a bit of complaint about who had it and who didn't have it. You know who didn't have it? Stephen King. Anyway, so that meant you were going to have your verification badge you paid for, but it means nothing because there was going to be this other thing that said official. 3 hours that lasted. 3 hours in which I wrote this week's show. Now it is gone. Now it is gone. They're getting rid of that. This new verification is rolling out with Twitter Blue. You'll be able to pay your $8 a month. I don't have access to Twitter Blue yet. I'm not sure if they're going to expand it globally, which they really should, if this is going to be a thing, or if they're going to leave it in the select regions they have. And that is the end of my conversation about Twitter. I think we just all have to wait and see what's going to happen there. I'm not spending much time marketing there at the moment, but I am enjoying seeing what's happening over there. I can see I've got lots of people. Here is Joanne. Great to see you, Joanne, I'm putting different glasses on this week. I've got new ones coming. Water. You're drinking water. Very healthy, Joanne. Very good. Joanne, different Joanne, is enjoying a morning cup of tea. Oh, lovely. I actually managed to hoosh down a cup of tea before we start. Yes. Howie, oh, Twitter, certainly one way to put it. Even Jesus Christ has been verified on Twitter now. Praise be. Very good. Yes. Yeah, I'd be interested to know if you're in the UK or Ireland, do you have access to the verification? That's what I'd really like to know. And good morning to Mark. I was in your neck of the woods last week and I didn't get to see you, which is kind of sad. I always want to see Mark when I'm there. Right, let's move on away from Twitter, even Twitter, onto other things.
Hello, this is Rob Charles, the voice of Mike on Forever FM on Peter Kay's Car Share. BAFTA award-winning, I've got to say, but I've not seen the BAFTA yet. Anyway, you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Enjoy. I'm on tea. Shh.
In case you had any doubt, there's a new study out that tells you, oh wait, you're going to be really surprised by this. Teens love TikTok. TikTok is their favourite social network. Well, teens in America at least, which is where this study was conducted. We can see, look at how quickly it grew with the teen market. Look how quickly it grew. Massively. It's that big black line, in case it's too small for you, that's just shooting up there. Teens love TikTok. It is their preferred social network. That was the question they asked. What was their favourite social network? And a majority said TikTok. Interesting, though, to see that Snapchat is still indexing well. In fact, I mean, it's nowhere near its height, which was similar to where TikTok is now, but it is 10 points above Instagram. And I'm not sure if that surprises me or not, but I mean, a lot of people would write off Snapchat and say people don't use it anymore. Teens use it, and I think it's because it's the social network they're growing up with. Like, you know, for people like me, it's Facebook. They're going to stick around there. So if your target market is kind of post-teens, TikTok and Snapchat are definitely the ones to look at. It's not that you have to abandon Instagram if that's the place that you love, but it's definitely looking at those social networks. Like I said, TikTok, no surprise to anyone. Will it continue its monumental rise? I don't know. I already hear people complaining that it's just become too complicated. I think that's a mistake that Facebook made and a mistake that they're also making with Instagram. So I guess we just have to wait and see. Mark is drinking decaf coffee. And Deirdre is saying good morning. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us again, Deirdre. For those of you that joined late, we're putting a hold on Twitter Spaces for now for obvious reasons. Obvious reasons being just what is going on with Twitter. Now, have to say, bit of a low news week this week because everything is about Twitter. But there's nothing particularly interesting to us about Twitter apart from that verification. So that's why that weird story snuck in there. Because you knew teens use TikTok, right?
Hi, I'm Kyra Fingleton from Glamping Under the Stars, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
At last, you're going to be able to create professional live streams for Instagram. I'm kind of a little bit excited about this. Because up until now, if you wanted to live stream officially, there were workarounds that they were against Instagram's rules, so that makes it very risky. But until now, you could... you'd have to get your phone and you'd have to put it on a tripod or something, and you could plug peripherals into it and buy lots of weird equipment. But basically that was it. Instagram Live was your phone, streaming from your phone. But now that's changing, because now you're going to be able to live stream from third-party software like I am right now. This is Ecamm Live that I'm using, and I'll be able to connect Instagram Live with Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live, I think, will allow me to output a 9:16. I have to look into that if I'm going to do it. So that means that I can broadcast vertical from Ecamm Live. Why would I want to do that rather than my phone? Well, by using third-party tools like Ecamm is only Mac only, so there's other ones out there, obviously, like StreamYard, OBS Studio, I could name loads. You get extra features, so you can do things like put overlays in. You can put in images. I'm just going to put a random one up there. Maybe I should just put the relevant one up there. You can put image overlays. You can put text on screen. I can feature people's comments on screen. I can use, I'm not going to show you this one, but I can use multiple cameras or multiple audio sources. I can play in videos. All of that is part of using a third-party live streaming software, and it just means that your show can look a little bit more professional. It's taken them a long time to get here, but now you can do it, which is, to me, absolutely fabulous. I'm excited. I may even try it, even though I'm not much of an Instagrammer. The one thing I'll have to do, because myself and my editor Ryan were looking at repurposing this for Instagram Reels, and the problem is I move around. So if I do Instagram Live, I'm going to have to remember to stand in the middle of the screen, and that's kind of going to be the technical thing. I'm really interested to see how this works, but it's not just a case of signing up to the live stream. You will need to go into Instagram on desktop only, and you go into this new tool they call Live Producer, which you access by starting to create a post, and it should give you an option to create a live video. At the moment, my Instagram doesn't, so I haven't been able to test it. When you get that, you get a little bit of code that you put into your live streaming software so it connects the two up. Looking forward to seeing how that pans out. Looking forward to seeing more big live stream thingy-me-bobs. Having one of those mornings. Hi, Mark. Mark says Ecamm does allow portrait outputs. Not that I use Ecamm. Well, that's good to know. Ecamm is my friend. I also use Restream, and I also use StreamYard. So Ecamm is the one I use for this broadcast. It gets complicated. Ecamm's my favourite. Let's just put it that way. Who am I clicking now? Louise? Will I click Louise?
I'm Louise Brogan, host of LinkedIn with Louise, and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now, vertical video is the thing right now. I imagine there's going to be a day when we go into like Harvey Norman, not particularly Harvey Norman, Curry's, and the TVs will all be around the other way. They'll all be vertical, because vertical video, it seems to be completely taking over the internet. Right now, if you're creating for social, vertical video is the thing. Even on YouTube, you may be aware of YouTube Shorts. And YouTube Shorts are like vertical videos, a bit like TikToks, exactly like TikToks, in fact, that you can put on your YouTube channel. And they reach a different audience, people who like to watch on mobile, maybe some of that TikTok teen audience. That's who they're for. But now, YouTube have just launched, or are launching, a new thing called Go Live Together. And Go Live Together is a vertical live stream where you will be able to invite guests, one guest to come on with you, and it looks exactly like Instagram Live with a guest. It's exactly the same thing. This could be good, I think, for people who have an existing and loyal audience on YouTube, because it will give them an outlet to reach even more people, those people who like to use mobile and use that full screen experience. Going to be interesting to see how this whole experiment pans out for YouTube, because at the moment I was teaching about video making yesterday, and I mean YouTube is pretty much the only social platform now where it is encouraged for their longer videos to have the horizontal format. They're the only ones that are holding out. No, TV's vertical, just no. I know, like the whole world of television and filmmaking would have to change, and not for the better, because anyway, that's a discussion for another day. Hopefully that never happens, but that will be the day where we know vertical is one. And during my time making videos online videos. We have swung back and forward from horizontal, where I would go never ever do vertical, to vertical being kind of a trend, to swinging back to horizontal again. And now we are in the world of vertical again. So goodness knows where it's going to go in the future.
Hello, this is Simon Hodgkins, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Facebook is embracing creators and influencers, which at first sight seems really bizarre. Like, is Facebook a place where influencers will hang out? But actually, you know what? 2 billion people in the world use Facebook, and there are a lot of people that still use Facebook. And if that's where your audience are, that is where you are doing your creating and your influencing. So it makes sense. Last year, they launched this thing called a professional profile. And a professional profile is, it takes away the need to go and create a business page as a public figure. I think that's what they called them. You're actually able to do it all from your own Facebook profile. It's just a little switch you make. And when you do that, you get extra stuff. So you get stuff like, monetization, so people can subscribe, or you can get people to pay for content, or you can get people to like tip you, so the tip jar type thing. More excitingly, for the first time ever, you're going to be able to see statistics on how many people are looking at your posts, because you just have to go by engagement as a guess from your personal profile. Now they're moving on. So they were initially just offering this to a select group of creators, and now they've announced that they're going to roll these profiles out to everyone. Now, it's interesting because in the world, I think we are wanting to make more personal connections with the people that we want to do business with. So, this is kind of a more personal approach. We've seen this work on LinkedIn. We've got creator accounts on LinkedIn with additional features so that people can get to know people better and people can follow the creators that they like. So I think it has got potential on Facebook, and it could be a good way for an additional income stream, not just for you if you switch to creator mode, but also for Facebook. We've seen all the layoffs from Meta this week, and from Twitter, another story, and from other tech companies, because online advertising isn't going to generate as much revenue as it has in the past. And also because they invested heavily in things like shops, which, they're not investing in anymore. This could be an additional income stream for Facebook too, because obviously they're going to take their cut.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Jeremiah J-Man Monero with J-Man Speaks from New York, and you're watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Make it a great day.
WhatsApp have officially launched their communities. Yay! We've talked about this before. I was kind of interested and excited. I was like, they are stealing Slack. That is what they're doing. WhatsApp communities could be a really good way, I thought, to manage those group conversations that maybe you don't want to be part of, or maybe the overlap. Maybe we could have a work WhatsApp, which is like a work Slack, where you have all your threads for your various aspects of work. Well, we kind of do with this new WhatsApp communities, but definitely not in the way that I was anticipating. New WhatsApp communities are going to be just basically a way of you gathering groups together that have a shared community, essentially. So, for example, if you're part of a business group or a membership, so like Andrew and Pete's Atomic, which is why I was away in Newcastle last weekend. If you're in that, maybe you've got, I would have various WhatsApp groups with people who were going to various conferences that were attached to Atomic, and maybe I have a messenger group, but I'm thinking it could be on WhatsApp, with people who are interested in learning more about YouTube. So we have our different segments. They would now all sit under a community I could create myself called Atomic. And I mean, that's about it. You will be able to message all the communities at once with a specific announcement, but it just really does seem like a way of ordering it. Of course, I don't have access. Because, I mean, why would you give me access to something that's really useful, dear WhatsApp? I mean, why would you do that? So I can't, it does just sound complicated and not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. But until I have access, I can't be sure. Maybe it is the next Slack. Maybe it is going to totally drag everyone away from WhatsApp and into, Slack, and into places like WhatsApp. Hello, Deirdre. I'm looking. People keep saying vertical video is hot right now, as long as the smartphone has been around. Well, it's gone through its trends, definitely. I think the problem now, the reason I say it now is because when Instagram made that decision that all videos were going to be reels, when you upload a horizontal video or even a square one, it becomes this little slice in the middle of the screen in a reel. And it just basically means you can't see it. It's completely wasted, which means now I used to do these little trailers for this show on Instagram. Now I have to make those vertical if they are going to work in all formats. And that's one of the reasons I'm saying it. And because it is a trend, like people are using their mobile phones to access it. We've got YouTube, we've got TikTok, we've got Instagram, we've got even Twitter, like 2 weeks ago anyway. All of them embracing full screen 9:16 video. So it's more than a trend, it's becoming the way that people view videos on social media, apart from long form videos on YouTube. And I do think there is still, and always should be, room for that, because that totally works from a cinematography point of view. So that's why I'm saying I think it's more than just a trend. Well, yes, stay on your phone. You don't want to be living on your phone. Well, hopefully our TVs will stay horizontal. And yes, if you're watching on desktop, horizontal can still work for you, but it's just, if as a business, you're going to be limiting your engagement if you just stick with horizontal videos. At the very least, I would suggest going square, because it just means it's going to be more visible to people who are looking on a mobile phone. So that's the problem at the end of the day, really. Okay. Well, that wasn't what we were talking about. I can't remember what we were talking about. WhatsApp. Well, moving on.
Hi, I'm Carol Phillips from Laguna Beach, California, and I'm here watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Hi!
I logged into LinkedIn. No, I didn't. Let's start again. I logged into Instagram the other day, and I uploaded a photograph. And when I went and uploaded the photograph, there was all this new stuff. And amongst this new stuff was this thing, add music. Do you see it there? Add music. Add this track. It's offering me add this track. So I clicked into it to see what tracks were available. And it was, I thought I'd put up a picture of my cat sitting on the office chair. So I searched for meow or cat or kitty, and I came up with a tune that matched it. And basically you can choose a bit of music and you can put it over your still image. If you have this feature, you will be able to see on my Instagram, if you go over to @spiderworking, the picture of the cat, you will be able to see and listen to the music on the image. But why? I'm finding it hard to understand why this feature exists. I've got some ideas. We already talked about how Instagram is all about video now. So by adding music, does it become a video? Not really. I've also noticed that, I also thought that maybe if there was music playing, people would look at the image for longer. So this could actually be good for businesses to get people's attention to look at it. Also, in a feed, which is mostly video, you know, a lot of people are watching with the sound on. So if it suddenly goes silent, they might not watch, they'll just scroll past that image onto the next one. I had another idea as well. Accessibility. I was wondering, by adding a relevant piece of music, was there some accessibility gain? Somebody who knows more about accessibility than me will have to tell me that. It all seems very strange and odd to me, but I'm going to keep experimenting with that and see what happens. Does anyone else have that feature? I'd love to know. You'll know if you have it if you go over to, I'm not trying to get you to follow me on Instagram, that's completely up to you, but you'll know if you go over to Instagram, find that cat picture, which I just put up again so you can see it. And see if it has a musical track playing on it. It's an interesting one. As I said, slow news week this week because somebody called Elon Musk went and bought Twitter and ruined the world. But I will be back here, same bat time, same bat place, to share other news, and hopefully the Twitter storm will have died down a little by then. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been wonderful to have you, and let's stay in touch. Until next time, bye-bye.